Good morning, students. Students, in our previous lecture, we discussed with you the formation of a bonding and anti-bonding molecular orbital. In that discussion, I told you that the energy of bonding molecular orbital will be less than those of the atomic orbitals. I mean to say that the bonding molecular orbitals are more stable than the anti-bonding molecular orbital as well as the atomic orbitals. Now, if you remember, student, in our last lecture, we discussed with you the combination of two 1s atomic orbital. In the combination of two 1s atomic orbital, I told you that when two 1s atomic orbital overlap by bonding, they overlap by addition, they result in the formation of a bonding molecular orbital, and when they overlap by subtraction, they result in the formation of a anti-bonding molecular orbital. Now, if we discuss the relative energies of a bonding and anti-bonding molecular orbital, suppose we have got two 1s atomic orbital. This is a 1s atomic orbital over here, and this over here is another 1s atomic orbital. What we are trying to discuss today, the relative energies of a bonding and anti-bonding molecular orbital. Now, this is 1s atomic orbital, and then we have another 1s atomic orbital. This 1s and 1s atomic orbital, when they combine, they may result in the formation of a bonding molecular orbital. When they combine to form a bonding molecular orbital. And they may also combine and result in the formation of a anti-bonding molecular orbital. So, they may combine to form bonding and anti-bonding molecular orbital. This is sigma 1s, that is the bonding molecular orbital, and this is sigma anti-bonding 1s molecular orbital. You may see over here that the energies of bonding molecular orbital is less than the energies of anti-bonding molecular orbital. So, energy of sigma 1s, which is the bonding molecular orbital, will be less than the anti-bonding molecular orbital over here. Am I clear? These are atomic orbitals. This again is atomic orbital. So, energy of bonding molecular orbital, this is bonding molecular orbital, will be less than anti-bonding molecular orbital over here. I think I shall be very clear. As discussed earlier also, bonding molecular orbitals are formed by addition overlap, and the electron density in the bonding molecular orbital will always be more than the anti-bonding molecular orbitals, and thus the relative energies of anti-bonding molecular orbital will be more than those of anti-bonding molecular orbital will be more than those of the bonding molecular orbital. Now, if you remember, student, in our previous lecture, we discussed with you the combination of two 1s atomic orbital. Now, today we will discuss with you how does the combination of 2p atomic orbital takes place. So, combination of, this is clear. Now, next is the combination of 2p atomic orbital. How does the combination of 2p atomic orbital takes place? So, combination of 2p atomic orbital. 2p atomic orbital. Now, 2p atomic orbitals are either px or py or pz. When two pz atomic orbital combine, they may result in the formation of a bonding as well as an anti-bonding molecular orbital. Now, you must remember, student, that by convention in the chemistry, the pz orbital is considered to be overlapping along the internuclear axis. It is a convention, although the px, py both can overlap, but it is a convention to study the chemistry that we will be considering the overlapping of a pz orbital along the internuclear axis. So, when two pz orbital overlap, they may overlap either by addition or by subtraction. When they overlap by addition, they will result in the formation of a bonding molecular orbital, and when they overlap by subtraction, it will result in the formation of an anti-bonding molecular orbital. So, first of all, we will be discussing with you the combination of combination of 2pz combination of 2pz. Find combination of 2pz atomic orbital. Combination of 2pz atomic orbital. Now, as per the linear combination of atomic orbital, this combination of 2pz atomic orbital will result in the formation of a sigma molecular orbital. It will result in the formation of sigma molecular orbital. So, it will result in the formation of sigma molecular orbital. How does this sigma molecular orbital bond formation will take place? The 2pz orbital will be this way. This is a 2pz orbital. This is 2pz. 2pz orbital. This is a positive lobe and a negative lobe over here. This is 2pz orbital. How will it overlap? 2pz. This is 2pz. This is positive and negative. When 2pz orbital overlap by addition overlap, they undergo the bond formation by addition overlap. So, this will be positive and this will be negative. Now, when they overlap by addition, naturally in the overlapping region, the electron density will be high. So, this will be in this manner. In the overlapping region, the electron density will be high. Am I getting clear? In overlapping region, the electron density will be high. How will it take place? It will occur in this manner. So, this is the overlapping region and the region of a high electron density. This will be positive and this will be positive. This is negative and this will be negative. When 2pz and 2pz orbital overlap along internuclear axis, it will result in the formation of a molecular orbital. How? So, this is sigma 2pz and 2pz orbitals have overlap. Here the electron density will be high. It will result in the formation of a molecular orbital, and in this molecular orbital, in the overlapping region, the electron density will be high. You may see over here, in the overlapping region, the electron density will be high, and in the non-overlapping region, the electron density will be low. So, this is a positive and this will be negative and negative. Am I getting clear? When two half-filled 2pz orbital overlap, by convention in the chemistry, it is being considered that the pz orbital overlap along their internuclear axis. So, it will result in the formation of sigma 2pz molecular orbital, and that will be called as a bonding 2pz molecular orbital. Am I getting clear? So, when they overlap along their internuclear axis, it will result in the formation of sigma, and sigma 2pz molecular orbital will be formed in this case. I think I shall be very clear. Now, when 2pz atomic orbital overlap by, they undergo the subtraction overlap, they will result in the formation of a anti-bonding molecular orbital. How will we represent the subtraction overlap? Suppose again, we over here have a 2pz orbital. This is a 2pz orbital, this is positive and this is negative. When they overlap by subtraction, so this will be a negative sign. They will overlap and overlap by subtraction overlap. So, how the bond formation will take place? This is positive and this is negative. These are 2pz atomic orbital. 2pz, this is 2pz atomic orbital. When they overlap by subtraction overlap, so they will overlap from the region where the electron density is minimum, and in that case, in the overlapping region, the electron density will be minimum. It will result in the formation of a anti-bonding molecular orbital, where we may obtain the region of a minimum electron density. How will I show this? These 2pz orbital, when they overlap in this manner. This 2pz orbital will overlap and overlap this way. This will be the overlapping region of this way. So they will be overlapping and overlapping in this manner. This will be positive, this will be negative. What does this positive and negative sign indicate over here? It means these pz orbital has oriented themselves in such a manner during subtraction overlap that in the overlapping region the electron density will be minimum. This will be negative and this over here will be positive. Now it will result in the formation of anti-bonding molecular orbital. That means to say, in the non-overlapping portion, that is in this portion, the electron density of these will be minimum. How will we go with this one? This will be this way. When they overlap, they will be overlapping in this manner. In this overlapping region, the electron density will be minimum. So in this overlapping region, the electron density will be minimum, and in the non-overlapping region, the electron density will be high. And this will result in the formation of a anti-bonding molecular orbital. Suppose this is negative and this is positive, this will be negative and this will be positive. In between this overlapping region, there will be a region of a minimum electron density, and it will result in the formation of sigma anti-bonding 2pz molecular orbital. Am I clear? So when there is a combination of 2pz atomic orbital, as by the convention in the chemistry, the 2pz atomic orbital overlap along the internuclear axis. Now when they overlap along the internuclear axis, it may result in the formation of sigma 2pz or sigma anti-bonding 2pz molecular orbital. Sigma 2pz is formed by addition overlap, whereas sigma anti-bonding 2pz is formed by the subtraction overlap. Am I getting clear? If you remember, student, in our previous lecture, we discussed with you the combination of two 1s atomic orbital, and I told you that it will be bonding 1s as well as anti-bonding 1s. Now when the 2p atomic orbital overlap, always remember the overlapping of a 2pz atomic orbital result in the formation of a sigma bonding molecular orbital, otherwise sigma anti-bonding 2pz molecular orbital. Howsoever, since it is by convention considered that 2pz orbital overlap along the internuclear axis, so 2px and 2py will be undergoing a lateral overlap, and that will result in the formation of a pi molecular orbital. Of course, the pi bonding molecular orbital and pi anti-bonding molecular orbital. So now we will discuss the combination of 2px or 2py atomic orbital. Now the combination of 2px or 2py atomic orbital. Combination of 2px or 2py atomic orbitals. Combination of 2px or 2py atomic orbitals. How the combination of 2px or 2py atomic orbitals will take place. So combination of 2px or 2py atomic orbital. Now student, as already discussed with you, we always consider the 2pz orbital to be overlapping along the internuclear axis. Now if we consider 2px orbital, 2px orbital will be this way. If we consider the combination of the 2px atomic orbital, this is 2px, which will be having a positive sign and a negative sign. Then again, if the 2px and 2px atomic orbital overlap, they may overlap along their sides, as they are not oriented along the internuclear axis. So naturally, they will result in the formation of a molecular orbital, which will be called as a pi molecular orbital. Now if the pi molecular orbital is formed by addition overlap, it will be called as a pi bonding, otherwise it will be called as a pi anti-bonding molecular orbital. So what will happen when these two atomic orbitals of p x or p y, they overlap, and they overlap in this manner. So these will overlap in this manner. This will be positive, positive. This is negative, and this will be negative. Am I clear? So this will be positive, positive, or negative negative. Just see over here, they are undergoing the addition overlap. So this over here is suppose the px, and this again is also a px, or we may say 2px and 2px atomic orbital. Now since they are undergoing the addition overlap, they will result in the formation of a bonding molecular orbital, in which the electron density will be higher above the plane as well as below the plane. So how will it occur? So electron density in this case will be higher above the plane and below the internuclear axis, and this molecular orbital so formed will be called as a bonding molecular orbital over here. So this will be positive and this will be negative, and this will be called as pi bonding 2px molecular orbital. That will result in the formation of pi bonding 2px molecular orbital over here. Am I getting clear? So what will obtain over here? It will be pi bonding 2px molecular orbital. So pi bonding 2px molecular orbital will be formed. Now these atomic orbital may also undergo the subtraction overlap. This may also undergo the subtraction overlap. This will be positive and this will be negative. This over here will be a negative sign. Then they will also undergo a subtraction overlap over here. This again will be a positive and negative over here. When these px atomic orbital overlap by subtraction and overlap laterally, it will result in the formation of a molecular orbital. So this will result in the formation of a lateral overlap over here. So the bond form will be this way. So over here it will result in the formation of a bonding molecular orbital. This will be positive positive and this will be negative negative. Naturally in the overlapping region, the electron density will be less, and when the electron density will be less, it will result in the formation of a anti-bonding molecular orbital. This will result in the formation of anti-bonding molecular orbital over here. This over here will be having a low electron density in the overlapping region. This will be positive, negative, this will be positive and negative. And this over here in the overlapping region, the electron density will be minimum, and this will be called as pi anti-bonding 2px molecular orbital. I think I shall be very clear, student. So always remember, whenever the combination of a 2p atomic orbital takes place, they may occur either by addition or by subtraction. Px and py will result in the formation of a pi molecular orbital, whereas the pz will be overlapping along the internuclear axis and will result in the formation of a pi sigma bond over here. Similarly, if we take over here, this is 2px, and this is also a 2px and 2px. So this was a addition overlap and this was a subtraction overlap over here. Now I hope you must have understood this very well. Fine. So how does the formation of bonding and the anti-bonding molecular orbital takes place? Now in our next lecture, student, we will try to discuss with you how does the bond formation takes place. In fact, here again the atomic orbitals have overlap. If before going for the next lecture, you must also know the conditions which are necessary for the combination of atomic orbital. Number one is the atomic orbital should not differ much in the energy. The extent of overlapping between the atomic orbital should be large, and the combining atomic orbital should have the same symmetry about the internuclear axis. So just I am writing out the conditions for combination. Conditions for overlapping combination of atomic orbital. Conditions for combination of atomic orbitals. Conditions for combination of atomic orbitals. Always remember, atomic orbital should not differ much in the energies. First condition is atomic orbitals should not differ much in energies. Should not differ much in energies. Atomic orbital should not differ much in the energies over here. Am I clear? Then the extent of overlapping of the atomic orbital should be large. Second is the extent of overlapping. The extent of overlapping of atomic orbitals should be large. Extent of overlapping of atomic orbitals should be large. Both the conditions are clear. And number third, the atomic orbitals, the combining atomic orbitals, they should have same, or I must say, the combining atomic orbitals should have the same symmetrical distribution around the internuclear axis. The combining atomic orbital. The combining atomic orbital should have, the combining atomic orbitals should have same symmetrical distribution about the internuclear axis. They should have same symmetrical distribution about internuclear axis. Same symmetrical distribution about internuclear axis. Should have a same symmetrical distribution about internuclear axis. Am I clear? Yes. So these are the conditions for the combination of atomic orbital. Atomic orbital should not differ much in energies. The extent of overlapping of atomic orbital should be large, and the combining atomic orbital should have the same symmetrical distribution about internuclear axis. So I think the combination of atomic orbital must have been very, very clear to you. Now in our next lecture, we will learn how to distribute the electron in this molecular orbital. Now, when I say this word, the combining atomic orbital should have same symmetrical distribution of around the internuclear axis. Suppose if there is a combination between S and P, so they must be symmetrically distributed. Mean to say they must approach each other in the proper direction. They must approach each other in the proper direction. So here, in this case, this overlapping is possible this way. But if I go with this way, this is the S atomic orbital, and this over here will be the PZ atomic orbital. This is positive, this is negative, this is positive. So here, in this case, no bond formation will be possible. This is the meaning of this statement, that the combining atomic orbital should have same symmetry about the internuclear axis. They are distributed in the same direction, oriented in the same direction. So this and this will combine. So here is the bond formation possible, but here the bond formation is not possible. Am I clear? So this is how the formation of a bond will take place. Now this way you may learn how does the combination of atomic orbital takes place. Suppose, student, if the question is being asked to you that there is combination of 2s and 2s atomic orbital. So what type of a bond will be formed? It will be sigma bonding 2s. Now if someone write down 2s minus 2s, what type of a bond will form? Sigma anti-bonding 2s molecular orbital. Similarly, if someone says 2pz plus 2pz, what type of bond will form? Sigma 2pz. And then if I write down 2pz minus 2pz, what type of bond will be formed? It will be sigma anti-bonding 2pz. So this kind of a question can be asked to you. Is the concept of combination of atomic orbital is clear? I again repeat, when the atomic orbital combine, they may combine by addition to form the bonding molecular orbital. They may combine by subtraction to form the anti-bonding molecular orbital. For atomic orbital to combine to form the molecular orbital, they should not differ much in the energies. The extent of overlapping of atomic orbital should be large, and the combining orbital should have a same symmetry about the internuclear axis. As for example, I have shown you this one. This is S and this is 2pz. So if S and 2pz are oriented in the symmetrical axis along the internuclear axis, this bond formation is possible. But if they are not oriented properly, then the bond formation is not possible. Is it clear? So this is something about the combination of atomic orbitals. Now, today I have completed how does the atomic orbital combine to form the bonding and the anti-bonding molecular orbital. Now, in our next lecture, we will learn something about the energy level diagram or the molecular orbital diagrams, where we will write down the molecular orbital configuration. We will follow certain rules to distribute the electrons in molecular orbitals and then learn how to make the molecular orbital diagram. That will in fact complete the discussion of a covalent bond. After that, our topic or two is left in this chapter and that will be completed. Fine. With that, that chapter will be completed. So, in our next lecture, which will be a very important lecture, we will learn something about the energy level diagram and molecular orbitals. Fine. Am I getting clear? So, we will learn how to distribute the electrons in the molecular orbital. Till then, I am expecting you that you are making the proper notes of this. We will meet again in the next lecture. Till then, thank you.